Welcome to my Earthstrike guide for Classic WoW. This guide will cover how to get the Earthstrike Trinket, Wrath of Cenarius ring, and both the Rockfury and Deeprock bracers. Starting things off, this all takes place in Silithus, and in order for this quest to be available, the AQ gates must be open on your server. We're going to start by speaking to Windcaller Kaldon. They're going to be right across from the inn, and we're going to pick up the Cenarion Battle Gear quest. Directly on the other side of them, we'll turn this in to Vargas the Blacksmith. Upon completion, you will unlock 4 quests that you can complete. Champions Battle Gear, which will be for the Wrath of Cenarius and Earthstrike Trinket, and then the Stalwarts Battle Gear, which will be for the Deeprock and Rockfury bracers. Pick up the Battle Gear quest that you're going to be completing. For this video, we're going to be picking up the Champions Battle Gear since we want the Earthstrike. This will just make it a little bit easier to track your progress and how many other items you need. We're going to head back to Windcaller Kaldon and pick up the quest Field Duty. If you're having trouble interacting with this NPC because you're playing on a high pop server, make this target macro to select the NPC without attacking anyone, and then you're going to spam your interact keybind. To set this up, you're going to go into options under controls. Check the box that says enable interact key, and then right below that, select a keybind. In this example, I'm using F3. Once you pick up the quest, you'll receive an unsigned field duty. Right click to complete this, and then head to your respective camp, both conveniently marked for Horde and Alliance. Once at your respective camp, Alliance players will speak with Janella, and Horde players will speak with Krug. After completing the dialogue options, you'll have to fight an elite. You'll need to make sure that your captain stays alive, as you'll have to speak with them to complete the field duty quest after defeating the bug. Horde can simply evade the mob and make it to where none of the NPCs fight them. You'll jump onto this spike here, pull with ranged, and then you'll be able to evade the mob, making it able to be soloed. Now, I'm not sure if Alliance have something similar to this. If they do, make sure to leave that in the comments down below. Once you defeat the elite, hand in the field duty to your captain. After, we'll head back to Cenarion Hold to complete the quest. Upon completion, we'll have the option to pick between 3 different assignments: combat, logistics, and tactical. To briefly go over what each of them are, combats are a kill quest, logistics will get you to turn in a variety of different materials. As always, I'll leave a link to that in the description of this video. And then tacticals are a couple different things. You'll either defeat one of the 4 Templars, scout through one of the 3 hives, or defeat a named NPC within Silithus. And so for each assignment you complete, you will get a corresponding badge for that assignment. This is where having that Battle Gear quest we talked about earlier will make it much easier to track your progress. One very important thing to mention is that you will need to acquire the Mark of Remulos or the Mark of Cenarius depending on what quest you're going to complete. The Mark of Remulos will be for the Deeprock and Rockfury bracers. The only way to unlock this is by completing a logistic task and getting it from a follow-up. The same thing goes for the Mark of Cenarius. This will be for the Earthstrike and Wrath of Cenarius ring. The only way to acquire this one is by completing a tactical and getting the follow-up from that. So now with that covered, let's go into more detail on how to get each of these badges and what's going to be the efficient way I recommend doing this. I recommend starting with logistics first. Some of the turn-ins are at each of the camps, so this will give you the opportunity to be doing 2 things at once, turning in your quest and also completing your field duties. This also allows you to pick and choose which quests you want to complete based off of the items and how expensive they may be. And also it gives you that opportunity to get the follow-up quest to receive the Mark of Remulos. This will be Logistic Briefing number 11. All you'll need to complete this is 1 Skin of Shadow from Skullomance, 3 Frayed Abomination Stitchings from Strathholm Undead, and 1 Twilight Cultist Robe, which you can buy off of the auction house. After getting the needed logistic badges, we can move on to combats and tacticals. For the combat badges, they are super straightforward. You will be assigned one of the 3 hives, either Hive Ashy, Zora, or Regal. Inside of this assignment, you will have 4 different kill quests. I recommend doing Zora and Regal since they are the larger 2 out of the hives. Hive Ashy is a little bit smaller and it takes a lot more time to complete. Be sure to do this in a group so you can knock this out a little bit faster. Next, we have the tactical badges, which can pair quite nicely with some of the combats. There are 3 tacticals which will get you to scout an NPC in one of the 3 hives. On screen is the cave entrance location on where to find each of those NPCs. As for the other tacticals, I skipped the Twilight Battle Orders and the Twilight Marauders. Since they were both very long respawns, I just focused on doing the scout reports and focusing on the Templars. In order to summon the Templars, you need to have a Twilight Cultist set. That will be the mantle, cowl, and the robe. This will drop off of the Twilight NPCs at the variety of camps. You can also buy these off of the auction house. I recommend doing this in a group of 2 to 3. Equip all 3 pieces and then interact with one of the small stones at either of the 3 camps. You will summon one of the 4 Templars. It's completely random on which one you will get. Upon defeating them, you will get an Abyssal Crest, which you can use to summon the Dukes later on. Now to talk about the tactical follow-up quest to get the Mark of Cenarius, which will be the 4 Dukes. In order to summon the Dukes, you will need to have 3 Abyssal Crest and a large Brilliant Shard. You'll turn this in to get the Twilight Cultist Medallion. You need to have a full Twilight Cultist set like we mentioned earlier, the robe, the cowl, and the mantle, and then you will also now need to have the neck on top of that. I recommend doing this in a group of 5 with at least 1 healer and 1 tank. Just like the Templars, the Duke you get is completely random each time you summon them. You'll equip your 4 items, summon the Duke, and hope that you get one of the 4 Dukes for your quest. Now I want to mention there is a quest item from the True Believers quest. Upon completing this quest, you will get a bag that contains several different items. Inside, you have a chance of getting one of the scrolls which can guarantee which Duke you will summon. You can sell these items on the auction house and they're going to be pretty pricey. From my experience, the fire ones seem to be the most rare out of the 4, so keep in mind that you can potentially just buy the Duke that you need if that is an option for you. Lastly, we got to talk about reputation since you need Exalted for Earthstrike and you need Revered for the Bracers. Best way to get your reputation up is just doing AQ20 and AQ40. AQ20 by far is going to be the most reputation out of the 2. Other than that, you can turn in Twilight Text for some additional rep. You could also grind this reputation out on the Twilight NPCs within Silithus. And then additionally, summoning the Templars, Dukes, and Lords will all give various reputation. And that's just about it for this video. Be sure to like and subscribe if this helps you out. If you have any questions, be sure to leave those in the comments down below. I'd be happy to help you out. And as always, I will see you in the next video.